I was really struggling with relationships, with setting boundaries, and I was also struggling to believe that I mattered to God and others. And it was out of that really hard place that I felt led to attend a weekend.
I knew that I was struggling with shame from my past and anger, and I wanted to be done with those, and I wanted to find my identity in Jesus.
I was really struggling with self-acceptance. It was very easy for me to focus on the things about myself that I didn't like and sort of not recognize or ignore the things about me that were strengths or gifts.
I went on the website and I read about the 5 wounds that they focus on the weekend, and I looked those over, and there's deceit, check that, I know I have that. Anger, definitely check that, I have that. Sadness, check. Fear, check. And shame, most definitely. So I knew then I needed to go on the weekend.
I was making progress with a counselor, but I knew there was more to uncover, and I was curious. I wanted to understand more about myself, and I knew that past hurts were impacting my relationships.
I don't know if I had specific expectations going into my weekend. I knew that I wanted to reconnect with God and take the next step in my life, but I'm not even sure that I knew what the next step should be. I just think I hoped this weekend was it. And what I ended up receiving on the weekend was what I didn't know that I needed.
The Women's Walk with Christ weekend was a really good opportunity for me to step away from my life's responsibilities for a little while and to get away from the busyness that distracts me or that I often use to distract myself. Without those distractions, I was able to focus on myself for a little bit, and with God's help, I became aware of some hurts in my life and some lies that I had accepted about myself that were impacting my relationships today.
The weekend had a significant impact on my relationship with God. After my weekend, he felt much more accessible to me than he had before. And looking back, I think that that's because community is a way that God uses to show his care for us and to work in our lives. And I feel like I really experienced true community on my weekend.
Through Jesus and with the support of the women on the weekend, I was able to discover who I was in Jesus and how much he loved me. And the shame that I was carrying was never mine to carry. And the anger, Jesus accepted that, and I had a place to begin to release that anger.
Through my weekend, I received the gift of new relationships, women with whom I have a deep spiritual connection and are still part of my community today. These women walk with me through the hard things in life and the good things as well. They provide support and accountability for me as I continue the work on myself.
This weekend was a huge blessing in my life. I walked away with this incredibly awesome, emotionally healthy toolbox that I use to navigate all of my choices in my life and to navigate my relationships.
Women's Walk with Christ weekend is not a women's retreat, but instead an intense healing experience. It is unique from other women's weekends in that it doesn't have to end when you go home. For me, it was a new beginning. There are opportunities, if you choose, to be involved in a small group and continue the healing that you started alongside other women.
I know I've been hurt, and I've hurt others. A Women's Walk with Christ weekend is structured to help hurting women. Acknowledging our pain and being honest with ourselves and others, but especially with God, can be incredibly healing.
We all walk around with wounds, and the truth is, we are afraid. If people knew all the parts of me, would they still accept me? This weekend is like no other weekend you will ever attend. I walked away as a confident, strong woman walking with Christ, fully accepted.
We can all be better versions of ourselves. Women's Walk with Christ weekend offers a focused and intentional opportunity to learn how.
For more information about the Women's Walk with Christ ministry or to register for a weekend near you, visit womenswalkwithchrist.org.